Welcome back, everybody. Photography Tips and Tricks, RC here. This is your show for gear, tips, inspiration, anything that you need to get that photography right to the next level. Now, this week, we want to talk to you about inclement weather. But before we do, I want to make sure that I tell you that this show is sponsored by Kelby Training. Kelby Training is the place where you can go to learn photography from the world's best. If you want to take a look at hundreds of classes done by the world's best photographers, there's no better place than kelbytraining.com. Now, on Google+, right, I spend a lot of time over on Google+, right? You can find me at gplusrc.com. So there I am, right? If you type that in, you'll get to my Google Plus page, and I had asked a little bit about the show, and I said, hey, listen, what do you guys want to see on the show? Somebody here, Richard Reeve, had said, using and protecting camera equipment through tough environments like beaches, snow, and inclement weather. And I was like, you know what? That sounds kind of cool. This is what I would do, and I'll give you kind of a general overall thing. Obviously, if you want to see some more, let me know. But we talked a little bit about tough environments, beaches, snow, inclement weather. All right, so I'm thinking inclement weather is kind of hot and cold stuff, or rainy stuff. So when you're doing hot and cold stuff, these cameras you're going to need to be able to use outside, right? And any changes in temperature, hot temperature, cold temperature, a lot of the times you have to let them warm up or cool down. A lot of the times what I tell people is I don't keep my cameras inside of a rolling bag and then immediately pull them out to shoot. I kind of give them a chance for them to be able to breathe and get to a specific temperature in order to do that. This will be especially in humid environments or in cold environments. You're going to notice that there's going to be a lot of fog up. So a lot of the times what I do is I have a rolling bag and then I have a shoulder bag. So for the rolling bag, I'll tend to use this, right? So I'll use Think Tank Photo, and I use an airport security from Think Tank. So I'm using these guys here. Let's see, rolling camera bags. So I'll use this airport series. However, that's not the place that I'll go to for carrying my bag. The place that I'll go to for that will be these shoulder bags. So I use this retrospective. Inside of here, I'll take this, let's say, I'm gonna use this retrospective 10 black. Let's say that's the one that I'm using, right? So it's a nice big bag. The camera goes inside of there, but what I'll do is I'll wrap the camera usually in something that I'm wearing, not literally wearing, but something that I brought with me. So like my shirt, right? So I pack this shirt, this is the clean shirt, and what I'll do is I'll usually take it and I'll just wrap it up, and I'll keep it wrapped up, and then I'll put it out in its environment. If it's a cold environment, I'll usually just kind of leave it like that. Obviously, this isn't gonna warm everything up, but it's kind of a soft thing to carry, and I leave the lens exposed, and I leave it like that for a little while, 20, 25 minutes before I'm actually shooting. So if you're a landscape shooter, go out, plan for this time. Plan for the camera to get acclimated. You know, wrapping a piece of clothing around it will kind of help in, you know, trying to protect it, keep any kind of scuffs away. But same thing in beach scenarios, I usually kind of wrap stuff up and I keep it there. If it's water, two different options. Think Tank does have a hydrophobia, and these are specific to lenses. So you gotta make sure that you get the right one. This is something that really does protect and cover that lens when you're shooting inside of a rain environment. Now, that's what I use. I happen to think it works well. There are other options. You can use something like this, Optech. Basically, this is almost kind of like a fitted trash bag for your stuff, right? So if you zoom in here, see, it looks like a garbage bag that you can go ahead and set up around your lens, and this should protect it against the rain, not typhoon, a nice rain thing. These cameras, right, D3Ss, D800s, and things like that are pretty weather sealed, but they're not incredibly repellent to water. When you start getting into different models, let's say 70Ds and Rebels and things like that, or D5200s, don't count on them to be out in the rain a lot. You wanna use something like this, especially when something like this is a 2-pack for $7. So why wouldn't you use that? That's something that you should use. Now, let's say that you get out to a shoot. I was out on a shoot shooting some abandoned stuff, and I come back and all of this stuff was caked with dust all over the place. Two things to do. You can use lens cleaners. Hoodman has got these things called Lens Cleanse, right? And it's a wet dry. So what you can do is you could take the wet one, you pull the wet one out, and then clean. Dry, dries that off. And I would probably use something like this a little bit for the body as well, even though they say you're not supposed to. Now, let's take a look at this here. Walmart.com sells the Zeiss lens cloths. Now, this is a case of 180 of them for $51. This is something that I was turned on to by Bill Fortney. And what he said was he uses these to be able to wipe all of the outside portions of the camera. So any of this stuff here on the sides and on the outside, he'll wipe that down with that. And he carries them in his bag to be able to do that. Also, carry a toothbrush, right? A toothbrush will let you get into the crevices and kind of pull all of that dirt out. So that's something that you want to do. Now, before I forget, do not use these unless you've blown out the lens. Take your blower, carry a blower, blow out the front of the lens to get rid of a lot of that stuff, and then use your lens cleanse from here, because you don't necessarily want to grind any dirt or grind any sand onto the front of the lens element or onto the front of the glass and cause a problem. Now, that talks about the outside, talks about cleaning the front of the lens, talks about how to kind of get this all clean after the fact. A lot of the times when I'm traveling into a location, I'll almost always pack one of these with me. Now, not the whole box, obviously. This is something that I took from the office, but a trash bag, any trash bag, doesn't really matter. I just stole this from the office. So I'm gonna take one of these with me, and I'm usually just going to take this and I'm gonna leave this like this, and I'm just gonna fold it up, right? I like doing this, and I keep this with me for several reasons. I never know when it's gonna rain. This could serve as a level of protection. But this is also a place where I go change stuff in my car. A lot of the times, it makes me feel a little bit more secure if I kind of just create a small pocket here, and then I'll take the camera and put the camera in there, and any kind of changing that I need to do, I'll usually do in here. Right? If I don't have anything kind of floating around and running around, I'd rather kind of contain it in one spot. Do my lens change. As soon as my lens change is done, I can pull it out. But more often than not, I try really hard not to do a lens change when I'm out in the field. If you have to, make sure that you do your lens changes. I usually put my camera down. It makes me feel a little bit better, though I know that things can still kind of crawl up into it. Be fast about doing it. Now, that's pretty much how you can cover hot weather, cold weather, rainy weather, how to be able to cover all of the stuff outside. Probably one of the last things to do is to make sure that you have a good cleaning kit. The cleaning kit that I'm using is from Copper Hill Images, and if you didn't catch this, make sure you take a look right there. We have many thanks to go to Scott Kelby and team for featuring our mega kit here. If you click on that link right there, that is going to bring you to an episode where we showed you how to clean your sensor. So this is the 14mm sensor swipe from Copper Hill Images, and inside of here you have blowers, you have fans, you have all sorts of things, right? You have a lens cleaner, all of these different things that you can use to clean your lens and your sensor. So this is our loop, this is our brush for the inside, this is a travel kit, this goes with you. And what I'm looking for is these swipes, this applicator, and this drop, right? Drop, applicator, swipe. Take a look at episode 10. That's going to be a great place for you to do that. The other thing that I usually keep with me is this little lens pen. And it comes with this case, but basically this is a carbon tip. You screw this in, you can kind of get rid of any of the impurities on the sensor itself. Invaluable. Also comes with a little brush. So brush, 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 brush. Take care of that stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that I usually keep in mind when working with the outside and the inside of the camera. Let's get into a quick break. When we come back, we've got the website that I want you to take a look at, as well as our contest. Stick around.
Hi, my name's Dave Black, and I'd like to welcome you to Kelby Training, where you can come join me on my light painting landscapes class. One of our locations is going to be at one of the most famous, iconic barns here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Not only will we do light painting there, but we will also do some soft focus technique. The site survey will give us an opportunity to look at our subject and start to figure out where we'll have camera position and where we would be applying the light painting from. Now, just because we're out here in the great outdoors in a big national park, don't think you can't do these at home. All the basics and fundamentals that we'll cover in this video will teach you how to get into light painting landscapes, whether you're out here in Teton National Park or right in your very own hometown. Come to my light painting landscapes video at kelbytraining.com. I hope to see you then.
Welcome back, everybody. RC here now. I've got the website to watch as well as a Peach Pit ebook deal. The ebook deal is going to be for Peter Reed Miller. It's on sports photography, and it's this book right here. Peter Reed has got some phenomenal sports images, and if you want to take a look, get a little peek back into how he does what he does, this book is going to be it. Make sure you go to peachpit.com/KelbyTV, and you want to enter in the code KelbyTV. That is going to save you 40% off of the ebook, Peter Reed Miller, on sports photography. Now, let's go ahead and talk to you about the contest. What I want you to do is I want you to go to KelbyTV.com. Inside of here, I want you to go to Photography Tips and Tricks, and you're going to look for episode 38. Once you find episode 38, go all the way down to the bottom, all the way down. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Yes, a lot of comments. Quite a bit of comments. Okay, put in your name, put in your email, put in a website, and now I'm going to ask for something very specific. It ties to the website to watch. You're going to go to copperhillimages.com, right? I want you to go there, and you're going to see that he has something called a mega kit, right? So this mega kit is what we want to show you. Right now, go to Copperhill Products. Inside of here, you'll see that he has the mega kit. This is the kit. More info? Go to more info, and you'll see that there's a giant chart of sensor sizes. This is all I want you to do. Look through this for your camera. Tell me what sensor swipe you want. One of you guys is gonna win that kit. So if you don't have a sensor kit to clean your camera, you will now. Our producer is gonna pick one of you guys, and I obviously need this information because we need to know what camera you have, what sensor swipe you're going to need, because they're very specific to that. So not only do you get this, you also get a mega kit from Copperhill Images. Thank you so much for being able to do that. And all we need to know is your sensor size for the swipe. So that's it for this week. Now you're prepared to go out and shoot in inclement weather, and you can clean as well. Make sure you tune in for next week. See you soon.